But I go back to my point made about the Honourable Member St Helens North, who made some great comments about food banks. But my invitation is to everybody on that side of the House. Come to Ashfield and work with me for a day in my food bank and see the brilliant scheme we've got in place, where when people come now for a food parcel, they have to register for a budgeting course and a cooking course. And what we do at the food bank, we show them how to cook cheap and nutritious meals on a budget. We can make a meal for about 30 pence a day, and this is cooking from scratch. We're glad to give way.
The honourable member for giving way. Can you answer me a simple question? Should it be necessary to have food banks in 21st century Britain?
I thank the honourable gentleman for his intervention. He makes a great point, and this is exactly my point. So I invite you personally to come to Ashfield, look at our food bank, how it works, and I think you'll see firsthand that there's not this massive use for food banks in this country. We've got generation after generation who cannot cook properly, they can't cook a meal from scratch, they cannot budget. The challenge is there. Come, I'll offer anybody. You sat there with glazed expressions on your faces, looking at me like I've landed from a different planet. Come to Ashfield, come next week, come the week after, come to a real food bank that's making a real difference to people's lives. And I'm going to end now, Mr Deputy Speaker, because they're not listening. These are a generation of MPs that never listen. But the good news is, well, it's bad news actually, because this Labour Party, that they're out of control, they're out of touch, and thankfully they're out of power. That's me done, Mr Deputy Speaker.
Joanna Check.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. Well, what I will say to the previous speaker is that all of us have food banks in our constituency. We don't really need to visit his because we're perfectly well aware of the requirement for them. But the requirement for them is not because people don't know how to cook. It's because we have poverty in this country at a scale that should shame his government.